Good morning, MolyFitters. Welcome to our Tuesday morning session, and it's week 10, so we're halfway through already, halfway through our 20-week course. Now, before we start, it's beautiful weather outside, really hot, and much more important than exercise is look after yourself in this hot weather. Try and avoid staying in the sun for too long, but the most important thing is drink plenty of fluids. Now, the advice is 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, but you'll be surprised how much fluid you lose through perspiration. So I always say, no matter how much you've drunk, when you go to the toilet, just have a look down, check the colour, and if it's a bit dark, you need some more water. Anyway, let's move on. What we're going to do today is work lower down on our ankles and calves. Now, it's quite incredible how your calves can be really tight and you won't even know about it. And they can really affect your walking, really affect the performance of your walking. Stiff calves basically stop the flexion in your foot and ankle. And that can make you walk wooden and stiff. And if there's not much movement going on the joint, it always goes up to the next joint. So it can actually cause knee problems and then hip problems and problems higher up. So it's a lovely idea to always stretch your calves when you've finished a walk. So what we're going to do today is just start loosening it all off. And we're going to start with plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, which in English is point your toes away and point your toes towards you. So we're going to do both legs. Let's do one at a time. You need the leg as straight as you can. Now, sitting on a chair or lying on a bed, keep the legs straight. Remember what we said last week about following the midline. We want that imaginary line that goes straight down the centre of the thigh, across the centre of the kneecap, straight down the centre of the shin, and straight down the centre of the foot. So we don't want the foot out like that or like that, and we want the knee facing up, okay, without twisting in. So line everything up, and what we're going to do is 20 of these. Now, you might find already you can feel tension in your calf. Your calves might be so tight that even just sitting there with a straight leg is pulling on the calf. Now, when you bring your toe towards you, that's actually a calf stretch. The calf crosses the ankle and the knee. So if you bring your toe towards you, it stretches the calf. So don't worry too much if you feel it in your calf, okay? So let's start doing 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so if your calves are tight, you would have felt it in the calf quite a lot. If your calves aren't tight, you'll still feel it in the calf because when you bring your toe towards you, like I said, it is a calf stretch. So this is a lovely exercise, not only to loosen off the calf and ankle, but also if you have limited mobility, it gets the blood pumping. So blood travels around the body two ways. The heart pumps it round and then the muscles help pump it round as well. So if you do suffer from swollen ankles, which a lot of you will do in this weather, you know, you can sit in the chair, do that 20 times, a few times during the day, and that will help increase your circulation. Right, let's try the other leg. So straighten it, line it all up, and let's go for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, quite interestingly, on this leg, I noticed when I was doing it, my foot wasn't, let's take this off, my foot wasn't going forwards and back smoothly. As I was coming in, it was flapping around a bit and being pulled out to the sides. And that is because I went on a bit of a walk last night, probably haven't stretched off sufficiently enough, and I've got a bit of a knot or a bit of tension in my calf. And that's what we're looking out with when we're exercising. We're looking out for hesitation. So when we do an action, it should flow, it should have rhythm, it should be smooth. And if it does hesitate or doesn't do what it should do and wobbles around a bit, it's just because there's either tension or an imbalance. And if that's the case, then whatever muscle you're looking at, just give it a stretch, and that's normally enough to realign those muscle fibers and get out that tension. Right, let's go back to the other leg, and now we're going to do ankle rotations. And this one, you'll be quite surprised. What we're looking for here is when we rotate the ankle, we want a nice, fluent movement. Okay, and you'll probably find the first few times you do it, it jars all over the place and judders. And again, we get a lot of crepitus, which forms around the ankle, and stiffness. And by loosening the ankle, just again, being a bit mindful, once a day, just loosen your ankles. We're going to go 10 times one way, 10 times the other. And that would just take that tension out. So let's do it. Let's go around one way. 1, 2. So you're looking for a nice, smooth action without any hesitation or vibration. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see that. Are we on close there, Arif? So you can see there that my foot is jumping around all over the place. And that's because I'm better this week, but I'm still suffering from a bit of sciatica from this car crash. So when I'm putting my leg out straight, it's pulling on my back, it's making the muscles tighten up, and I can't quite move my foot around smoothly without it jarring. So if you're finding that's the case with you, and it's pulling in your back because either it's not so much your calves, it might be your hamstrings are tight that's tucking the pelvis and putting pressure in the spine, then just do it with a soft knee, and that will alleviate the back pain. Because remember, when you're exercising, you only want to feel the exercise in the desired location. If you can feel it somewhere else, like in the knee or in the back or anywhere else, it means that the exercise at that particular time isn't right for you, and you just need to adjust it slightly. So in the case of this, if I soften my knee, I can get a nice smooth action because I'm not now aggravating the sciatic nerve. Looks like we have a question.
Just to say, we've got Marilyn and MolyFit Theatre watching at home today.
So hello to Marilyn and MolyFit Theatre. Thank you for watching. Right, let's do that on the other leg now. So this leg would go a bit easier because this is a non-sciatic leg. And you can see it's a much smoother action. You can see the flow, it's just easier, it looks better. And that's what you've got to look out for on your body. Right, 3, 2, 1. Now let's go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what you're looking out for there is just nice and smooth with flow, okay? Now, that's the loosening exercises. So just to refresh, I'd like you to plantar flex and dorsiflex each leg 20 times. Then I want you to do 10 ankle rotations one way and 10 ankle rotations the other way. And now we're going to actually put a bit of strength in our calves. You know, our calves are really important for carrying our body weight when we walk. So let's do that. And for this one, you need to be standing. And I always do it against a wall, but if there's no wall available because it's full of pictures and paintings or whatever, you can use a kitchen surface, but you want to use something that's solid, secure to the floor, and isn't going to move when you rest your body weight on it, okay? Now, first things first, remember the MolyFit checklist. So you want your feet hip distance apart, and you want that midline lined up. If you're doing a calf exercise and your legs are like this, okay, you're going to miss out bits of the calf muscle. We want to strengthen the calf muscle evenly all the way through, and for this we need our feet lined up so they're parallel, so it's the same distance between the toes and the heels. And then from there, straighten up. When you do this, you don't want to be leaning and you don't want to be bending the back. So the general rule of thumb is when you approach the wall, make sure you're arm distance apart. Okay, so if the wall's, that's arm distance apart, I want the wall there. You don't want to be leaning into the wall because that just puts pressure in your back and takes the exercise goodness away from the muscle we use in the calf. So, feet distance apart, line everything up, and we're just going to tiptoe up and down, up and down. Now, pretty much as you do this exercise, you'll feel your heels trying to pull together, okay? Try and stop that. It's just one of the body's little habits. So when you're doing this, just look down every now and then and just make sure that those toes and heels are staying parallel. So let's do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. So you should feel this exercise at the back of the leg there in the calf. So the whole point of this week is what we're trying to do by strengthening the calf muscles and then loosening off the ankles and the calves. We're trying to create flow and rhythm in your walking. So far we've worked on, since the beginning of this course, we've worked on keeping you upright and your posture, making sure your chest is open. So what we're trying to do up until now in week 10, everything has been leading up to creating a rhythm and a flow when you walk. And then at the end of this week, starting from next week, then we start working on balance, coordination and a bit more strength. So making you sturdier on your feet. So that's it for me. I'll be back here on Thursday at 11:30. Until then, stay well and stay MolyFit. And don't forget to drink your water.